We got double agents on double agents on double agents. NERDSoul. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing you that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, we get into another wonderful episode of movie reviews. And today, we're putting everything aside because I figured you guys have already seen it, hopefully. If not, we're going to spoil this, and we're talking about Atomic Blonde. And since I'm hoping we're all in the know here, we're all friends, let's just talk about some of my favorite parts. And I guess I'll start pretty light with Berlin. I like the way they characterize this city. It just looks grimy, it looks gritty. Of course, it's in the 80s. It's got this kind of just lived in feel. And it doesn't to me have this kind of atmosphere of just being a bunch of sets. Like they really went in and made it seem like, oh snap, like they're in 80s Berlin right now. Like people look, like their clothing and like the people, it just really helped establish just the characters and it's just the character of the city. You know what I'm saying? Like it really felt like, and not like I'm from Berlin, but it felt like I was there. If I, from the TV versions of Berlin I've seen, it looks like Berlin. Now, next I want to really talk into how the movie goes into the style, because this is where the movie shines for me. There's so much just cinematography, so much cool in this movie, from the way they do the titles with the spray paint to, the way they push the lighting on and off of Charlize, or, even like some of the villains, the way they shoot like, kind of like the action through like the rear view mirror and stuff. Just like so much cool stuff in this film, the way it just comes off, just the way it looks. Like it looks very, like even like, say when she's coming into, hotels and when she's going up the steps, the angles they choose and just the lighting that they use when they're in the nightclubs and things of that nature, it really just pushes this like very cool feel, even though it's in a very cold and dirty place. And that's where I really have to give a lot of love to the art direction and the acting. The art direction, because just like how they were placed, how things were designed, the set in general, and also just like the titles and, all of that was like extremely very, well thought out and stylistic. And then the acting was just spot on. You got John Goodman, you got Charlize Theron, you got, can't believe the other guy's name, but I'm gonna flash it up right here. And the way they create this just, I guess, vibe of double agents, undercover, figuring out secrets, who's lying to who. You really buy into these characters. They go a long way into, giving you the idea that maybe you can't trust anybody. And they even give you characters like kind of like Sofia Boutella's character, who they give you someone who you can kind of see in the life, and you're not really even, sure if she should be there. You can kind of see that, she's not really made for this. And homegirl like just straight cuddles up with Charlize all up in the bed, and Charlize is like, yo man, I can't give away my tails. You gonna let, I'm gonna get killed giving away all this. You know what I'm saying? Speaking the truth and like opening up to people. And it's a nice small relationship between them, and it helps reveal who both of their characters are. Now, before we go forward, let me remind you, you can find me at Black Hollywood Live. That's right, first online network for African Americans is super dope. And you can check them out at blackhollywoodlive.com, where they have celebrity interviews, after show, sports talk, geek, nerd, tech, the whole shebang-a-bang, and live streams every day at youtube.com/Black Hollywood Live. So when it comes to these cast of characters, I'd be remiss without naming James McAvoy. He plays the heck out of this sort of dirty agent, sort of clean agent role. Like you really don't know what side of the fence he's on, because he does stuff that's good for Charlize, but then he also sets her up like 2 or 3 times in a row. Like, homie is definitely there for himself, but he's got the charm, and kind of like he ingratiates himself to us, the viewer, as like this guy that's like, yeah, I can't really trust him, but I like him. And you take all of that plus some amazing action, where these action scenes are a action fan's dream. Like, you have these long shots where, you know, Charlize is just going crazy. The scene that you see in the stairway on the, you know, on the trailer is much longer, and it really, it shows how people actually would, or at least what we perceive, they would seem like in a situation like this. I mean, the characters get tired. They use any means necessary to kind of win, even to the point of just like throwing pencils and pens at each other. It's just fun seeing them just shooting and beating each other up, throwing people, falling down. Like, you see how they get worn and tired over time. And you take that with a whole bunch of sniping, you know, trying to sneak, you know, people across the border. There's just a lot to love. So all in all, I've got to give this movie straight up 4 stars. It hits everything for me. The intrigue, the way John Goodman is playing for the CIA, but then acting like he's all cool with MI6 or whatever. Like, Charlize, you know, playing the line between a double and a double and double agent. All of the action sequences that are out of this world. And then to see just the top-notch acting. Everybody's bringing it. Like, you can tell these people want to be in this film, and it's very telling, and it shows a lot when they give these crazy good performances. Now, of course, I would be remiss without telling you, this film has some length on it. I'll be honest, there's a moment in here when you're wondering like, yo, how long has this movie been going? But besides the fact that the movie does get a little long in the tooth, I was strapped in and I was very interested in what was going on. And I had a ball, man. So guys, holla at me, I'm gonna holla at you. Down in the comments, let me know what you thought about Atomic Blonde. It was a bunch of fights. You know, she got beat up. She wasn't like beautified the whole time and, you know, not a cut or scar on her face. She looked like she was a true warrior. You know what I'm saying? So I had a fun time watching it. So guys, let me know your favorite parts down in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Down below. And if you haven't seen it, and maybe you watched this video anyway, hopefully you catch yourself a matinee, because I think it's definitely worth your time. So before I bounce, I gotta tell you guys to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right, check me out right there. All my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all of that. Then hit up shop.ThatNERDSoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt player. And don't forget to get one of For Them Playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that Nerd Soul. That's right. There's no better way that I can show people that you like what you are watching. And of course, my shout outs go to LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves, be good to each other. And if you're a double agent, you better watch your back. Peace.